Hey, Charger fans. So I tried putting in some clips from the team this season. You can see I got my guy Jameson Williams out here. Yeah, Chris Olave, somewhere he is. Yeah, man, it's so hard to make content without permission. But just letting you guys know, man, I'm sorry for the practice clips. I tried, guys. I tried.
This entire offseason, I've been thinking that the Chargers are favored to win the division. They're favored to go to the Super Bowl. They have this just unbelievable team led by Justin Herbert on a rookie deal. They're going to steamroll their way through the playoffs. And I know that's a huge stretch to say that because football is tough and injuries happen. But if the Chargers are healthy, I don't think there's a team better than them. But the reason why I haven't thought otherwise is because I don't watch ESPN. I don't watch Undisputed. I don't have social media. The only social media I have is one of my sports pages that I only post on that. I don't read anything. So I'm kind of like not in the loop right now. I rely on the comments from Charger fans, and then I rely on like Bleacher Report. But right now, Caesars Sportbook, which is just one outlet, of course, but they have Kansas City at a plus 160, and then they have Denver, Los Angeles, and the Raiders. I mean, Los Angeles is third on this list, and that's just the division. Obviously, if you're talking about the Super Bowl, there's going to be a few other teams over them. I'd imagine the Bills. The Dolphins, I think the Dolphins probably are lower than them because they have Tua. They could have had Herbert. If the Dolphins had Herbert, we'd be having a completely different discussion about that. But they have Tua, and they're still a very good team. And then those are the only ones. The Titans should not be over the Chargers. The Colts should not be over the Chargers. The Patriots should not be over the Chargers. Not to say that those teams can't beat the Chargers, but despite this awesome free agency, despite having Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler, who had an amazing year, this team is going to be dealing with adversity all season long. It's going to come down to the NFL draft. That's why I keep preaching Jameson Williams, Derek Stingley Jr., Chris Olave. Because if you go out there and you draft the right tackle or you draft the linebacker, sure, they're going to do their job and they're going to be an upgrade. But do they take the Chargers from the third best team in the division to the first? They take the Chargers from a 9-win team to legit the Super Bowl. And Jamar Chase was that type of player for the Bengals. Without Jamar Chase, they don't go on that run. I don't even think they would make the playoffs without Jamar Chase. That's how much of an impact a wide receiver made. Remember, they didn't have a second option outside of T. Higgins. I mean, they had Auden Tate and Tyler Boyd was pretty good in the slot. So they didn't really have too much of a wide receiver concern, at least in my opinion and many others. I know there were people saying, yeah, take Jamar Chase. What if Chris Olave ends up being that type of dude? What if Jameson Williams does? What if you end up trading up to get Derek Stingley? Now you have him, Asante Samuel, and J.C. Jackson. Guys, it's going to come down to that, man. I get it. I get the Chargers have needs and they have holes and priorities before a receiver. But when you're drafting, you take the best player. You take the player that gives you the best chance to win. There's a reason why there's a third round, a fourth round, and a fifth round, and a sixth and a seventh. You can find players like decent players. It's the same thing when we were debating why the Chargers shouldn't draft Matt Araiza out of San Diego State. There's no one ever, and there's certainly no one in this class that can punt the ball like Araiza. I mean, he had an 86-yard one. He also had an 80. I mean, that just seems like a fake stat. If you can find an above-average punter undrafted, why can't you find an above-average offensive lineman in the third round or the fourth? You can also move positions around. And a lot of Charger fans are starting to buy into this. When I first made the channel, I talked about Chris Olave and Jameson Williams, and there was no one I was convincing at that point in time. But now I'm not taking credit for it because a lot of Charger podcasts are saying it, like a Lockdown Charger podcast. I know they like Jameson Williams. Shout out to them. My guy, Andrew Erickson over at Fantasy Pros Sports, likes Jameson Williams for the Chargers. This division is too close to go into it not taking the best player. I mean, obviously, you're not taking a quarterback at 17. You're not taking a running back at 17. I mean, you could have LaDainian Tomlinson sitting there at 17, coming back. I mean, maybe I would take him because before I wasn't even making. Obviously, I was so young when he played, but I probably would take him. That's a bad example because my love for him. But you guys get what I'm saying, bro. It's like there could be this amazing running back, quarterback. Like that's a different story. But this is a wide receiver. It's a skill position. The Chargers defense. That's what they've been addressing this offseason. They haven't gone out and brought in a star on offense. DeAndre Carter, sure. He's going to help them because he can take handoffs and he can run routes and he's amazing in special teams. He's quick. But he's not going to be scoring a hell of a lot of touchdowns. He's also not going to be blowing the top off of the defense. He's just going to do a lot of the little things, which end up being the big things. But he doesn't take the Chargers from a good team to a great team. Whoever the Chargers draft in the first round will be the difference maker. It will be. 100%. And I'll look back on this and remember it and be like, yeah, I was right. Because if they don't take someone with superstar potential, I'm going to be disappointed. Now, it's a different story if you want to trade down. If you're saying, hey, we can pick up a third-round pick to move up a couple of spots to go to maybe 22 or something, sure, I'd be cool with that. But if you're picking at 17, you should not be taking any linebacker in this class. You should not be taking a corner in this class that isn't Derek Stingley Jr. or Sauce Gardner. I know a lot of you guys like Booth and a lot of you guys like a couple other players. I know who they are, but I don't have enough knowledge to speak on them. But to say that they have the upside of Derek Stingley Jr., I mean, this was a true freshman a couple of years ago that was ranked the #1 defender in the class. He also has the most upside in the class on defense. Defense, at least, he has the most upside. Maybe you could argue in the entire draft. I mean, this is a guy that can shadow opposing corners. He's great in coverage. He's long, athletic, fast, good hands. He's only 20 years old. He'll be 21 in June? So I've been making Charger videos thinking that they're the best team in the division. Everyone thinks they're the best team in the division. Come beat us. But that's not true, man. People are picking the Chiefs and the Broncos. I'm sure a lot of people are picking the Raiders over the Chargers. So how can we get people to put respect on our name? Well, obviously going out there and winning football games, but at least in terms of the offseason, go out there and draft Chris Olave. If we get Chris Olave, it's over. Like you know the what's it, Vince Carter. You guys watch Vince Carter, you know who that is? Obviously he's a huge icon, played for the Raptors, played for the Nets, and he played for a bunch of other teams. In the dunk contest, he throws down this ridiculous dunk, his elbow's in the rim, and he points at the camera and he says it's over. The Chargers draft Chris Olave, Jameson Williams, Derek Stingley Jr., and I'll even throw in Trevor Penning. I know that might be a little bit too far, but I feel like Penning, with I think he honestly is a superstar on the line because he's going to be this mean physical dude off the rip that's going to push guys around. He's going to make it easier for everyone. I think he's definitely in there. I'm a Colts fan. We drafted Quentin Nelson, and he ended up being a superstar for us. I don't know if Penning will be Quentin Nelson, probably not, but if he's anything close to that, that could be the difference for the Chargers. A team that obviously needs help at the tackle position. But yeah, it's your boy Thunder Alley signing out. Have a great day, guys. Peace.